Kia ora, I'm David Chaston with 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz. This will get everything you need to know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock with news. All eyes are now on tomorrow's US CPI release for August. But first, there was a surprising news from the US today. August producer prices rose far less than anyone had anticipated. On an annual basis, headline producer inflation slowed to 2.6%, while core producer inflation eased to 2.8%. Analysts had expected year-on-year changes to be up to 3.5%. Markets took these changes at face value, ignoring the new management at the agency compiling the data. It is being seen as Fed-friendly for a rate cut next week, although to be fair, far more will depend on tomorrow's CPI release, where rates closer to 3% are anticipated. Also unusually positive was last week's data on US mortgage applications. They jumped 9.2% from the prior week to be 11.6% higher than year-ago levels. And across the Pacific, Japanese manufacturers are feeling bullish, especially about export prospects. The Reuters Tankan Index rose to a very positive level in September, its highest level since April 2022. And in China, they reported their consumer prices dropped 0.4% in August from a year ago after being unchanged in the prior months and missing market expectations of a 0.2% decline. It was the fifth episode of consumer deflation this year and the sharpest drop since February. China had a similar deflation problem in the second half of 2023, but escaped those pressures in 2024. But they're back again. Food prices fell 1.2%, but beef prices were down 4.3% and lamb prices down 3.6% on that annual basis. Milk prices fell 1.4%. And despite growing civil unrest and street demonstrations in Jakarta, Indonesian consumer sentiment was little changed in August, although it is maintaining its recent low that started in May. However, in a longer-term perspective, it is 20% higher than it was a decade ago. The last thing Canberra needs is to see an unstable Indonesia as a neighbour. The US Treasury 10-year yield is now just over 4.03%, down 4 basis points from yesterday at this time. And the price of gold will start today at a new high of $3,645 an ounce, up $4 from yesterday. And American oil prices are up $1 at just over $63.50 a barrel, while the international Brent price is up similarly at just on $67.50 a barrel. And the Kiwi dollar is now just over 59.5 US cents, up 20 basis points from yesterday. Against the Aussie, we're down 20 basis points at 89.8 Australian cents. Against the euro, we're up 20 basis points at 50.8 euro cents. That all means our trade-weighted index starts today at just over 66.8 and down 20 basis points from yesterday. You can get more news about the economy in New Zealand from interest.co.nz. Kia ora, I'm David Chaston, and we'll do this again tomorrow.